Welcome to Feng Shui Living, the podcast designed for busy women who want to de-stress, live with intention, and create a home that truly supports their well-being. Each week, I'll bring you practical tips, insightful ideas, and simple strategies to enhance both your home and your life. Let's get started. Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to Feng Shui Living Podcast. I am your host, Lisa Morton, and today I am joined by Ashley Murphy. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to have you. Ashley, welcome to Feng Shui Living Podcast.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
So I'm going to share your bio so everybody knows all about you. Ashley is the co-founder and CEO of Neat Method and author of the Neat Method Organizing Recipe Book. As an in-home personal trainer, she saw firsthand how a well-organized space could transform her clients' overall well-being, inspiring her to launch the company. She believes organization is about more than arranging items. It's about creating calm and harmony in everyday life. Yes, ma'am, I'm with you. Today, Ashley is most proud of the community Neat Method has built among owners, team members, and clients who share that vision. I love all that.
Thanks.
Impressive. So I'd like to start out with kind of a quirky, fun question. What is something interesting, unique, different that people might not know about you? Maybe you speak Mandarin. Maybe you ride a unicycle on the weekend. Something fun, different.
Yeah, right? Gosh, let me think. I mean, I actually think my answer, and I don't think it's probably that unique or fun. Really like what you see of the brand is fully like who I am as a person. And I love somehow that, I've been able to embody that and continue to live that over the years. I have friends ask all the time, are you must be, so organized. And the answer is yes, I am. But I do definitely live my life. And, you have to have the like reset that takes place in your home, but I don't take it all too seriously, to be honest.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
funny.
unique or fun, but that's my honest answer that I really do believe in all of this. And I do think really makes a difference.
That's fantastic. I actually am working on this podcast episode, I think, for one of the upcoming weeks about how to calm the chaos, right? Like, because this time of year in summer, there's so much going on, so many activities. Everybody wants you everywhere. And sometimes our homes can start to show the chaos that's going on in our lives.
Oh yeah, they sure can. Which I love. My kids are at an age where I'm like, okay, can you please leave the house for a little bit so I can actually have that sense of calm and reset the house. And it's kind of my favorite thing to be alone and make it all work again.
Nice. Send them out and then bring them back in when it's all nice.
Yep. Just get away, get out of the house, go play.
So I'd like to go back to talk about you started as a personal trainer before founding the Neat Method. Can you tell me about the moment that you realized that a messy, disorganized space was affecting your clients' progress? It's not their motivation, but their physical results.
Yeah. So I worked as a private in-home trainer for about 6 years post-college. And it's definitely it's a different process than, working in a gym where people come to you. I'm going into their homes and I'm definitely seeing the way that they live and function. It's very intimate, right? You're in their space, you're teaching them about health and fitness. I actually worked with a older population, a lot after like post rehabilitation. But there were definitely those within that wanted to just live a healthy life versus, be able to tie their shoes again because they had a knee replacement. So there actually was a particular moment. It was a client that I worked with probably, gosh, I want to say almost all 6 years. And I would see her 3 days a week. And she definitely was on a journey to lose weight. And I would go into her space, and kind of in my nature is to be this organized, very neat human. And so I would go into her space and I would see that it was disorganized, and I could feel the chaos and energy off of her that was very overwhelmed, right? So you're there, you're trying to educate them, you're asking them how, how was your eating the day before? Or what did you do in the last week? And one day, it actually was during the 2009 recession. I came in, and some of my clients had cut back on hours just because of the disposable income,
Yeah.
aspect of the career. And they were like, it was one of those things where it was like less time with them. So I had more free time to myself. So I went into this particular client's home and I was like, hey, would you ever let me like organize your house? Like, I do wonder if this would make such a difference just in even your kitchen. She lived in
Oh.
the city, definitely a smaller dwelling compared to like suburbia of the Chicagoland area. And she was like, absolutely no problem. So I actually remember I was like, great, I have less clients tomorrow. I'm going to show up and I'm going to just roll my sleeves up and see if I can make a difference. I didn't really know, right? I kind of was like, well, let's just try it. And again, she was almost like a second mother to me. I was so close to her. And so she shared every aspect of how it made her feel, like the good, bad, and the ugly of that. And I
Mm.
think it was a light bulb moment for me where I was like, wow, like I do feel that this made a difference. However, she definitely shared some of the like anxiety it felt to make that change. So I think it softened even our approach to how we made people's like preached that this should be an aspect of your life, because I think some people do enjoy thriving in chaos, and I or kind of take a stance that like, well, this is just who I am and I'm going to
Mm.
like, I'm okay in this chaos.
Mhm.
So I got to learn firsthand from her how it actually like transformed then after some time of getting used to it. So it
Mm.
really changed our approach with then starting this as a little side hustle, being, in the Chicagoland area, less clientele in fitness and more clientele to maybe dabble in some of the home organizing, which worked out really nicely.
Wow. You know, I was thinking about, I've explored with a lot of my clients their upbringing, right? And
Yeah,
if they were brought up in a chaotic home, that feels normal to them. That actually feels
sure.
kind of safe. And so shifting from that can really feel like a big deal and a big change and kind of foreign.
Totally. I think any
Mm.
change is hard, whichever direction you're going.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, I think just for us as a brand today, we really try to embody recognizing that and making
Mhm.
sure we're not overwhelming the client too much, because it can impact their mental state for sure.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh my gosh. So I talk a lot about how your home either is supporting you or working against you. It's good feng shui or not so good feng shui, right? And from an organizing standpoint, where do you see like that most clearly? What spaces tend to hold the most stress when they're not working?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. I would say for sure the kitchen. Most
Okay.
like kitchen, pantry, anything around food. I think the kitchen, more than any other space of our home, holds so many different items, almost to where you're like, there's so many categories. I don't know what to do with like, how do you
Mm.
categorize this can opener, this peeler? Like, there's just a lot to it, right? And then I would say the second space is probably like the the bedroom, like truly the primary bedroom of the home. I think it's obviously what collects all the piles of clothing. It can act as like a quick, like, get ready, leave the home, or come home. Maybe it's late in the day and you're just like, oh my gosh, I just want to go to bed. So it tends to clutter quicker, especially
Mhm.
because when you have guests over, they're not really seeing that space.
Right.
So those two for sure. And I can definitely like elaborate more if you want me to.
Well, I'm curious if you had a client and or just anyone listening and they're like, what space, where should I start? What's the first place to start? What would you recommend?
Oh, Between those two, I
Okay.
probably would say the kitchen, mostly because unless you live alone, you have multiple people using that space. And I
Mm,
think that it actually, because your day technically does revolve around like eating in a way where you're like, okay, well, I have to eat to fuel my body.
and not just once, it's multiple times a day.
Multiple times, and there's multiple people involved, especially if it's
Mhm.
a family home. And so I think making that function to its best ability helps with even just like the process of either getting out the door to work, getting the kids off to school, even your evening routines, resetting for the next day. Like it probably is that hub that you really need to have it functioning to its best ability. I think a lot of other areas of your life kind of bleed into the kitchen, whether that's after school homework, mail,
Mm.
receipts you bring home from anytime you're shopping, grocery store, whatever that is. And there's oftentimes like a catch all space that lives in the home or in the kitchen that is, it kind of becomes that famous junk drawer that we all reference from time to time.
Yes. Oh, I hate the junk drawer. I hate
Uh-huh.
the junk drawer. I actually had a friend though. Um, her name is Crystal, and she had this. She's like this kind of shared this epiphany, and she's like, "What if we stop calling it a junk drawer and it's a supply drawer?" And
I
it's so
like it.
funny, even just renaming it
Oh
from
yeah.
junk drawer. I'm
We
like, wow,
call
I
it,
want to care for it a little more.
yeah, that's a great, I love that suggestion. We call ours the multi-purpose drawer.
Ooh.
So either one, I actually really like supply because it is kind of supplying you with multiple things.
Mm-hmm. I loved even that naming. It's just the new name gives it different energy, I guess.
Yes, yes.
So I want to move into talking about your book, the organizing recipe book. I love that framing. Can you walk us through what a recipe looks like?
Yeah, we're obviously not the first on the scene to write a book about how to organize your home. And so we wanted to go about it a little differently. I think that's what happens is that somebody who wants to get organized, they may pick up a book for that step in the right direction. It's actually kind of like fitness. You're like, "Oh, I'm going to sign up for a gym membership for that step in the right direction." But I think oftentimes, kind of even going back to my first answer, people get really overwhelmed. And so for us, breaking it down into individual recipes that you really could just approach one recipe at a time. It doesn't have to be, oh, well, you have to change everything to make this work.
Mm,
Let's make this a little bit more bite sized. Let's make this a little bit more step by step. We even reference the items you need for a particular space as ingredients. So I think it's very tangible. I think people can approach it, say, okay, what ingredients do I need to organize that multi-purpose drawer? I'm going to get those. It's going to feel very like process driven. You can look at that space and not feel so overwhelmed when you're reading, hey, this actually only takes me 20 to 30 minutes. Let's do it. Versus, oh my gosh, my whole house is going to take me an entire year. How am I ever going to do this? And then you just get paralyzed and you don't do it.
get frozen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love that. So, a lot of my listeners are
Yeah.
busy women who work a lot, they travel, they might have kids, they might have volunteer things. They're busy, right? And so, the goal is to share quick, easy tips. If you had one quick thing for people to do to just make it feel just a teeny bit organized, can you come up with something fun?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to give one thing not to do first. So, the one thing not to do is do not go out and buy organizing products. Don't go buy bins, baskets, drawer
Because
organizers.
it's so tempting. Oh my gosh, you
I
go to
know.
the
But what's
container
going to
store or
happen?
Target.
Totally. So what's going to happen though is you're going to go out and buy them and then you're going to get home and you're going to realize, "Oh, well this actually doesn't fit the need of what I was trying to organize." Our recommendation is the quick win is to take everything out of whatever space is overwhelming you the most. Now, with a whole kitchen reset, that can feel like a ton of stuff. So if you use our book, it kind of walks you through how to do each space. But I would say really walking a space, especially a kitchen, and almost like open up the drawers, open up the cabinets, lay down the dishwasher, and walk around that space to see how it actually works to unload, put your dishes away, put your silverware away. Do you have to walk all the way around it? Do you have to cross the entire space? That actually starts to dictate the layout of a space. Same thing could go for, I mean, you could do that in any one of your spaces, whether it's a door that might get in the way, cabinet doors that might get in the way. Like I think like really walking it, knowing how, okay, well, this is my access to the stovetop. This is my access to putting things away. I think that is the quick win of just like, oh, now I get why unloading the dishwasher overwhelms me. I have to walk all the way across the room, maybe even around the kitchen island to put away all of our glassware. So we would say, let's try to make that layout function a little bit better. So it actually
Mm-hmm.
saves you the like steps and the time and the overwhelm of just like, ugh, like this is such a pain to do.
I like that. I run into clients so often that they move into a new home and they want it designed tomorrow. They order all this furniture and all this stuff. And I'm like, slow down. You don't know how you're going to move about the
Yeah.
space, where the traffic flows. I mean, roughly in a home, you can find some hallways, some general walkways, but how are you and your family going to move throughout the space and flow throughout the space and then invest and make some decisions?
Yes. So the same thing, the exact same thing goes for organizing the space. I think it's very different if it's a blank slate that you're moving into
Mm-hmm.
versus I've lived here for 20 years. I need a refresh. I have far too many items that have accumulated. I think that is a very different approach. But
Mm-hmm.
for us, the number one rule really is those accurate measurements of what we call your prime real estate. So kind of my example of as you're walking around to make sure, okay, does this function the way I need it to? Make sure you measure the prime spots for the accurate sizing on bins, baskets, organizers,
Okay.
dividers, whatever that is to help like create those boundaries for each category.
That's good. That's good because I have my clients keep a list in their phone of the size of their sofa, right? Or the size of the throw pillow they're looking for, or whatever height
Yeah.
they need for a piece. And this is just more you can add to that list. Keep it all in your note and it's all ready to go and handy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think sometimes curating a space, well, not sometimes, oftentimes curating takes a lot of time. And it's almost like, oh, I stumbled upon something versus, oh, I know the measurements. I have to go find it. Then it's like very hard to make sure you even know you like it. So
Yeah.
I love that tip of just being able to reference the measurements of just like,
Yeah.
okay, this is the
More
sizing that
curated.
could work.
It's more you, it's more your family, it's more special.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about the Neat Method community that you've built. Yeah, I know this is something you're so proud of.
Yeah.
Tell me about the community and tell me about what the women, when they reach out, what are they looking for?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So it honestly was this like perfect happenstance is how I would describe it. As I said earlier, this really was created out of a passion. It was a side hustle. It was oh, let's just see if we can make a difference in people's lives. I had moved from Chicago to San Francisco shortly after that story of my personal training client.
Okay.
Um, and I lost all of my clients, obviously, because I moved away from where I was working and decided, oh, I met my business partner, also this like chance encounter. And we were like, let's just start this for fun and see. And I would almost say within months, a few short months, we started receiving messages on Facebook at the time. And these women were essentially saying, oh my gosh, I have a passion for this as well. And I'm looking for a career change too. Could you teach me how to do this? And it was one of those light bulb moments where we were like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Like, could we teach this? So we took our time. We actually took a couple years. I moved back to Chicago. We wanted to make sure that the method and the model we created could be replicated in another city. So
Okay.
once we did San Francisco, Chicago, and we actually even launched Fort Lauderdale as our third market, and we proved to ourselves we had a tried and true method and approach, we started responding to those inquiries and we started saying, actually, we do think we could teach
I
you.
love it.
Um, and it was this like magical, these all of the women, especially in the beginning and even now, like they truly shared the same, like, we just want to change people's lives and create something that we're really excited about. So it kind of took off pretty quickly, and started, I guess, like very, it took off quickly in the sense that we were responding to these women and launching new markets. And we went from, I want to say, like 12 markets to 40 overnight, and then went from 40 to 85, and now we're up to 100. And
Oh my
it's just
gosh.
been, it's one of those things where we just want to keep going because the people that are in the community share that exact same
Ugh.
desire to make a change. And our clients just, it's proven at this point, 17 years later, that they truly do love us and love what we do, and respect our approach and have that like full trust in what we change for them.
Hmm.
And that feeling is obviously something that you can't deny, right? You're like, oh, I have to keep going to make sure that this keeps at the pace we want, for sure.
Yes. Ah, I work with a lot of women who, or I just talk to a lot of women, engage with a lot of women who want to do it all, right?
Yes.
There are those people that, oh gosh, I could never hire help. I could never hire someone to come and organize my kitchen. I should be able to do this. What do you say to them?
So, my answer to why the feeling for women that want to do it all, feel the need to do it all, I definitely, I'm right there with you. Like, it's one of those things that I can empathize and fully relate. And if I've learned anything in 17 years of running a company, it's that it's okay to not do it all. And I think that like pressure is actually kind of like the crux of it all, right? Where it's
Mhm.
just like, I mean, especially with the world of media today, and just like, oh, we have to keep up. And there's all this, like, there's so much chaos in just the messaging that is this like standard of like, I need to do it all. And I
Mhm.
think for me personally, finally allowing myself to take that break and to take that breath has made such a difference, and to actually lean on the outsourcing when I can.
Yeah.
Yes, in this circumstance of, oh, I want to live this organized life, I want to organize myself. Yes, like if that truly fills your cup and brings you that desire and passion that you want, have at it, right? But it's okay to also admit, this is a lot, it's overwhelming, it takes a lot of my time, it actually doesn't fill my cup. I think it's one of those things where it's like, there are resources now, there are other people. This industry, especially in the last 10 years, has evolved so much to
Mm.
where I actually think it's now, it's almost like trendy to have the organizer do it for you versus like, well, I did it myself. So I can go both ways on this, right? Where it's like, it's okay to not do it all, in my opinion. I think that just like owning that and outsourcing, like, there is beauty in that as well. But if it is something that you're like, I have to do it myself, totally fine. I just would say, take it in small chunks. You
Mhm.
don't have to do it all at once. I think even involving your family is really fun
Mm.
because it does make a difference for how everybody lives. So I think that
Yeah.
is, it doesn't have to be just you. And yeah, I think there's through internet these days and books these days. Like there's plenty of resources to teach you how to do it.
Mm-hmm. I think
But
everyone has to remember these celebrity homes and these TV shows with these beautiful homes, and people live in them. They have staff. So like they have a huge staff of people to maintain
right,
everything and make sure their pantry is stocked with just the right pasta every day. Like
right.
people have to remember that these people aren't doing it themselves.
No, not at all. And I think again, like you gotta pick your battle, right? Pick
Yeah.
pick which lane you want to stay in.
Yes. Yes. I have to carefully sometimes tell my clients, please hire a cleaning lady. Like
Yeah.
if it's in your budget, even once a month, just to take, then that's what, a couple hours that you can spend free time with your kids at the park.
Yeah.
That's worth it,
It
right?
really it comes down to just like what is the time you value most,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. We
And
have
my
so many.
my cleaning lady, I mean, there's many things I would give up before her. It's just the best. It's like my favorite. Even my whole family knows that the day she arrives is like mom's favorite day. I'm like, yep, house is getting reset and go.
Well, I know when if I try to clean my house, I can't get the whole thing clean in one day,
Oh God.
right? So when you can walk in and it's sparkling from top to bottom, it feels so good. It lifts the energy. It's really just such a nice experience. And I have to say, having someone, a professional come in, organize a space, gosh, if you don't have 3 weeks to work on your pantry,
right.
hire the professional, get it done. They know the best, the quickest, the most efficient, the most amazing way to arrange your
Yeah.
pantry. So let the experts do that.
I actually have a fun fact for you. I think our clients, just from testimonials, that love us the most are those that are already organized, which sounds interesting, right? Where they're already like, they think I live this organized life, and they do for sure. But the level we take it to and how much more that changes the way they function. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can do it yourself, but there's a reason there's somebody that like specializes in this. And at this rate, we've seen every nook and cranny of a home, all of the challenges that come with it. And so therefore, we can kind of just get somebody to the finish line a lot faster.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm all about that. Okay. This has been fantastic. Anything last that you want to leave with us? Anything special you're working on or doing or you're excited about?
Oh my gosh. Well, we have a handful of new products that we're rolling out here soon. So on top of the professional services that we offer, we have a direct to consumer line of beautiful, in my opinion,
so beautiful
products. Yes. And we decided that came much later in our career, right? Where we started learning all the things that didn't work from other stores. And because we had that hands-on experience, we knew what a home actually needed. So not only are they well made and really, really pretty, not because I'm biased, but
they are really pretty.
I
was on your website. I want that one and I want that one. And
they function really well, and there's some new things coming out fairly soon. So it'll be a fun. We just love watching how products perform because it kind of tells the whole story for us, right?
That's awesome.
So yes.
Oh my gosh. Ashley, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you'll come back sometime and we can talk a little deeper.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I loved it.
Wonderful. All right, friends. I hope you enjoyed this interview. Gosh, I know I sure did. I will see you at our next episode. Take care. Special thanks to our sponsor, Elevated Living School of Holistic Design and Feng Shui. For more information, head over to the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share this episode with a friend. We'll see you next time.